Hey everybody, welcome to session 2 of our Werewolves of Wall Street bite mark game. We are playing on the Gauntlet, and this is part of our new collected play experiment called Empire City, modern horror and supernatural games played somewhere set in New York City in time and space or history. I am joined by our pack. Leandro playing Brian King, Donna playing Maxim, Bodhi playing Jessica Ross, and Jim Crocker playing Xenophon. We are playing under the Gauntlet inclusivity policy. We're using the X card and we're using script change. We will be cooling down using a stars and wishes technique. We reappraise ourselves of the safety tools at the start of the session and our lines and veils especially. And other than that, we're going to pick up with a frame on the morning after the night before, where probably Ram's wake went on into the wee hours. The barbell was picked up by Rosa. But you're werewolf, so probably you haven't got that much of a hangover, or maybe you do. But where do we find you waking up in your first night back here for a while, Maxim?
I mean, I think the Grey Pelt Gungeon had offered his place, but
Yep.
I suspect that it'll be on someone's couch, anyone's couch, whoever was last leaving the nightclub. So I don't know who that might be.
Any volunteers?
I mean, I probably own the nicest couch. Would be
Okay.
my guess. So, I've probably got a place that has like a full guest room and stuff like this. So.
That's what I'm thinking of. Of people of your wealth and standing, surely you have guest rooms. We're rich, powerful werewolves, but we don't have guest house rooms. You've just got to sleep on the sofa.
But it's a really nice couch, and there's probably a not quite so empty tumbler of whiskey or something on the table next to it, on the end table. So
yeah, I mean, I also kind of like the idea that like I have a guest room.
Yeah.
But you crashed out on my, whatever $30,000 designer, like leather couch or something like that. So yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I feel like Jessica might have been the last one to leave, but wouldn't offer Maxim a place to crash. Doesn't seem her style.
You're so cold, Jessica. So cold. Love it. That makes perfect sense. So that's where we see you awaken. What does the apartment look like, Xenophon, other than it's got a nice couch?
I think it's I've got a lot of like marble and wood, as opposed to that kind of like Apple Store aesthetic that you see a lot of these days. It is a lot of like, it's like marble countertops, nice and it's all like, like white marble with like dark black veins. The couch is white. It's all, it's the kind of thing that like I very clearly have to pay people to come in to clean the place. Because otherwise it would just be, but like it's all, I think it's much softer than you would expect it to be. Like there's like that leather couch is not one of these austere space age looking things. It's plush and cushy and you can kind of fall back on it. And I have a great big fucking polar bear skin rug in the middle of my living room.
Excellent. That sounds pretty descriptive. So as you do wake, Maxim, Xenophon, have you already risen or are you still?
I think as Maxim wakes up, I am at the door. And like the door opens and this like, you know, where are we? We're in something like New York, right?
We're in definite New York, yeah. So
okay, all right. And so a, you know, incredibly handsome, you know, very gay underwear model looking guy who is, you know, working in a, you know, an intern at a fashion company in Chelsea, like walks me in and I'm in wolf form. And like, I've got a collar on and he's like very loosely holding the leash. And he like we walk in, I yip at him and make a like get the fuck out of here motion with my head. And he nods, turns around, you know, closes the door, and I, you know, back up into human form, and like I'm snapping the Velcro of the leash off as I do, and hanging it on the door, you know, next to the door. And I say, well, you were, and I kind of do that thing where I like walk over and I kind of like lean on the back of the couch like this, looking down at Maxime. And I say, you were so cute there, like a little baby, that I couldn't bring myself to wake you. So I just had Douglas take me for my walk.
I mean, yeah. I mean, speaking of babies, yeah. What's his name? Douglas?
Douglas.
Douglas. Okay.
Douglas. He is aesthetically amazing. And I wonder sometimes how he remembers to breathe. He's not bright. And how I was able to find someone who I could convince to give me walkies. Yes, I can walk around freely. I can walk right down Madison Avenue and no one pays any attention to me because he's the one walking me.
Well, that I gotta see when I sober up.
Oh, that would be a shame. Can I make you a mimosa?
Sure, yeah. I'm still trying to acclimatize.
And I kind of snort at the, you know, at you talking about acclimatizing. And then we hear me like rooting around in the kitchen fridge and stuff, you know, I turn on one of the burners of the gas stove and pull out a frying pan and stuff like this.
Cool.
I'm just going to start making breakfast.
Let's move the scene from there, reminding people that you mark past and you place your heartbeats, you played your pet culture, gain a 4th tie on a PC. Share a moment of heartfelt camaraderie or when a skin move fills you to. And you know, if you felt you displayed any of your heartbeats there, folks, in your scenes, remind yourself
we're all
of
full
that.
on our human path.
All full on your human path. Well, actually, I will point out that Xenophon entered the room and he was a wolf.
Yeah, I was. So let me just do a quick reminder. It's been a couple weeks of our pack culture. Tailored clothes, blah blah blah. Taboos, unacceptable behavior. Never short the pack. Food is important. Own the VIP lounge. The only one who can tell you what to do is the alpha. Never bullshit about money. We protect grandmother spider. Like I feel like the tailored clothes thing, like having a very pretty boy to walk me around. I feel like that is kind of, you know, in keeping with our whole, you know, aesthetics are important thing. Does that sound reasonable?
I'm totally down with that, Jim.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to mark a wolf path then.
Mm-hmm. Whilst Jessica, at 5 a.m., your phone rings. Would Jessica be awake at 5 a.m.?
This is a Probably yes, and this is a dilemma because I'd figured that the first thing that Jessica would do on a morning when she's waking up with a hangover, still at 5 a.m., is go for a swim in wolf form. So I'm not sure what happens when a phone rings when you're in wolf form.
I'm quite happy this isn't until you finish your swim when you come back out and you realize you've got 4 missed calls from Rosa with then a photo message, which is that followed by a further text, which is call me, you bitch.
Yeah, I'm good with that. And I basically how are we with? Oh, yeah. I was about to ask how are we swearing on stream, and then you've obviously kind of answered that question.
This is an adult game. It'll be marked on my YouTube channel as not for kids, so swear away.
Okay, so I think my reaction to looking down at my phone is shit, and I call Rosa back straight away, and and my first words I don't let her get a word out before I say, sorry, was a wolf.
It's all right. Said I want you to keep a close eye on Maxim. I don't want them destabilizing anything, and I don't want them skipping town again.
Understood. And yeah, I agree. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's enough. Just adding more to that. Said I know he knew you'd understand, Jessica. Said, and seriously, I want to know who's on our tail. Get one of them to help you.
So I think I hang up there because I don't think I'm the sort of person who would have questions. And I am remind me what we know about the people on our tail from last week, the week before.
Very little, other than it might be connected to Grandmother Spider. He, if you remember, Rosa tried to make you look a bit bad in front of everyone by saying, "Why haven't you sorted it out yet?" And then effectively you said you'd get it sorted. She gave Ram was your fixer and had a lot of ties into the mortal world. She gave Ram's portfolio and all of any information towards his connections, or he might be able to help to Briar, with the principle that Briar needed to step up and fill those boots damn quick, or someone else would.
So I think I'd be heading to Briar, and would where would I'm going to direct this to Leandro? Where would Briar be at this time in the morning, and would that be kind of? Would Jessica know that? Because if not, I'm going to call you. If I would know where you were, I'm just going to show up.
Yeah, I don't think people know necessarily what Briar would be doing this morning. I don't think they're that well known in the firm just yet. You probably know where they live, but at 5 a.m. it's not really an indication of.
If you want to find them, you could harness the wolf.
Yeah, I think I do, because I don't think I want to give. I don't think I want to give them warning. I think I want to just show up. So Let's have a look at.
One of the questions is, where is the trail? Where is my prey?
Oh yes.
And though you
Yeah, I
probably
think I
don't
want
intend
roll
to eat
that.
Briar, that would certainly allow you to find them.
Uh-huh. Okay, I am going to roll for that. That's a 5, and I have 0 heart, so that is just a 5. So I fail that. Oh, you get a hard move.
I do, and I think
So let me just ask a quick mechanical question.
Yeah.
Is that a thing that she could spend pack on, or how does that work? Or is that only when we're
so
hanging
let
out
me
together?
answer that. Normally you need 2 or more pack members present to spend pack. The one of the things that the enforcer has as an option to take a move is they can spend pack on their own, but I don't think you've got that move yet, Jessica.
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
No,
There
I
we go.
don't think I do.
No.
Thanks.
Okay, so yeah, normally pack, you need two or more members of the pack. There is a specific playbook move for the enforcer that allows them to
Got it.
act selfishly, if you like,
Okay.
and do it. Okay. But yeah, yeah, go for it.
What was I going to? Oh yes, I was just going to ask. Because we've been talking a lot about communicating and things, is the time frame when this is set one where there are cell phones?
It's Monday, yeah. So I think you've got cell
Yeah.
phones.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So yeah, you definitely got the number. Look, I'm gonna say that my hard move is you find them, right? You're the enforcer. You're able to find them, but what you don't spot is the thing that's stalking you. So we see a cutscene of something in the shadows, and that thing in the shadows has got its own glittering eyes, and its own sort of glittering line of webs and lines around it, as if it sort of doesn't belong in this world or the next one.
Okay, so Jessica's of course totally oblivious to this, so I think I'm positioning myself to where I'll just be able to kind of step. Actually, where is Briar? That's the first thing.
I'm kind of gonna let a move determine this. So this was happening around 5 a.m. ish. An hour before, Briar got home to like their apartment, which is a very nice apartment. They don't need to have a roommate, but it's not as luxurious as anyone else's. They have the tablet that names or tablet that Rosa gave her, containing Ram's portfolios. They look like they haven't fully sobered up, but they look restless, like they don't really want to go to bed yet. And they just remembering what Rosa told them is, you got to step up, especially after someone had to step up so that you could prevent 2 people from crossing a velvet rope. So they're feeling quite a bit insecure. So, and they know there are people out there who are tracking them. So I'm just going to roll to give in to the wolf, and we'll see how that goes. Maybe David gets to determine what Briar's up to if I fail this roll. Okay. If that's okay, Dave.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I am a firm believer that the more mischief the players want to inflict upon themselves, the happier I am.
Okay. All right. Roll this. Wow, that is a 6. That's amazing. That's actually amazing. I didn't expect that to happen.
Uh-oh. Right. So again, just reframe what you were doing for me there. I was taking out a cable that was trapped. So why did you give it into the wolf?
Because I want to go find them motherfuckers who killed Ram right now. So like I'm probably out on like some balcony that my apartment has, and I'm just gonna like Feeling restless. I'm gonna go try to start this search now. That's why I'm giving it to the wolf. Just gonna go out there, get all. Well, 'cause I've
Okay,
got
so
stuff to do.
a fail on a given to the wolf, the MC takes over your character for the next scene. You're no longer in control of yourself. The wolf takes over. I will be as sensitive I can to the way that I think your character is being played when this is happening, but it is a move which to a degree loses some agency. Collectively, I'd like us to be able to say pause, script change, or anything like that. I do not want to break your character. And I think that's just safe role play, right? So if you say I really am not happy with that, can we rethink? Let's deal with it. Are we all okay with that as a sort of a mechanism of safety?
Mhm.
And as I say, I think the scenario is we sort of see this scene of Jessica arriving in your apartment, catching your scent, Briar, and it looks very much as if there has been a fight in Briar's apartment. Things are turned over. There are claws on the walls. There is a scent of blood in the air, and of Briar, there is of no sight.
So the second thing I say aloud to myself this morning is also shit, and then I take out my phone. I presume I came in Wolf Film, but I've changed now. Take out my phone and start taking photos and send them onto Rosa because that's what you do when something like this goes down, and kind of something like events are moving faster than we anticipated. This is at Briar's place. Briar's not there. Going to find them. And
Cool.
I don't wait very long for a response, but if Rosa wants to give an immediate response, I'll see it.
The messages and the photos are sent immediately to Xenophon with a message from Rosa saying, said Jessica needs brains. Whatever your nice breakfast you're having with probably a fresh orange juice and the New York Times or whatever, probably not, but yeah, it is suddenly ping on the phone. And it is Briar's apartment, which has been turned upside down.
Jessica seems more like a New York Post girl. I think that's maybe Daily News.
Yeah, but I think yeah. Rosa is it said Jessica needs the brains. Help her, please.
And I think I see that, but by this point, I am already changing back into wolf form to do some tracking of scent as kind of rapidly as I can. I'm looking to find Briar quickly. So I'm back as a wolf.
All right. So I'll come back to you in a moment, but I'm going to ask Xenophon what they do with the text being sent on to them, and then we'll come back to you, Jessica, in terms of your next steps.
So what exactly does it say? I mean, you know,
I think it's
I
the
look
pictures,
at it immediately.
Yeah, it's the pictures. It's the pictures of the I say of Briar's apartment being torn up. It was the message that Jessica sent on to Rosa, and Rosa's immediately sent it on to you saying Jessica needs help. Briar's missing.
Got it. All right. So I sigh. I say, well, we'll have to rain check this. and I just like grab a couple of protein bars or something like that. Actually, no, what? Fuck that. We're wolves. I just grab like a couple of strip steaks, throw them in the microwave to kind of thaw them for a bit, and kind of hand one to him, and I say, "We'll have to eat in the elevator."
So yeah, I think like Maxime's initial pithy response is like, "What? The markets are acting up already," but like when you go for the freezer. Or whatever for the stakes, it's obviously a different kind of game time.
Yeah,
So,
and I show you the phone that has the message from Rosa, and I say, and I kind of pause, and oh man, and
I mean,
I pause.
I don't even think you need to provoke spill.
Yeah, sure. Well, I pause and I say, are you with us on this or not? Well, how back are you? And should I roll it or?
No. Unless you really want to take your chances.
You should roll it, right? Because it's a mechanism in the fiction that might determine that another direction is taken or an equally important secret is shared.
All right. I am provoking. Well, actually, if he wants to spill, he can just spill, right? He can just roll to spill.
He can just roll to spill, but the benefit of doing this is it's sort of you're trying to effectively force them to reveal something that you want them to reveal, and the benefit of the move is sometimes it creates a social tension back where you give something away as well. So if the player can always choose to spill, but the to and fro of the provoke, spill, and spill work really well as an energy in the game. It would be my guidance on how to get the most out of the system.
So Maxime, would you just spill your guts to Xenophon after one night letting you couch surf, or am I going to have to push a little bit to get you to be really honest?
I think like if you fictionally right, I think if you show the phone without saying anything and I get to read the message, then I'm just going to go straight to spill.
There we go. I think that's entirely
But if you're
reasonable.
like if Xenophon is probing, which seems like their deal.
Oh yeah, I totally am. No, sorry. This is not just are you coming on this mission, but this is like, are you with us? So I'll roll the provoke.
The spill character can always choose to spill and reveal something deeply emotional, but if you provoke skill, you can ask them a question almost.
Yeah, got it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm gonna go ahead and do this in a way that stays on my table. Let me roll it on something not quite so bouncy. I got an 8. My heart's 2, I think. Is it 2 or is it 3? Did I bump it to 3? I think I bumped it to 3. So anyways, I got a 10 plus. They have to make the spill move.
And reveal how they feel about the question that you have asked. Fundamentally,
are you back for good?
I mean, Maxime is not really answering that question, right? Not so straightforwardly.
I think you kind of have to, don't you? Isn't that why I just made that roll? Well, I mean, which of those 4 are you expressing?
I'll take 2, right? Is like when she says Jessica needs us, what does she mean?
Sorry,
I mean, is she okay?
I don't know. Probably not. If she were okay, she wouldn't be calling us.
Well, she didn't call us. we got the fucking message from, and Maxime like takes a step into Xenophon, and starts to, you get a low bass rumble from his chest, and it's like this had better not be a fucking test. If she is hurt and you're mucking around, I'm gonna fucking tear someone's head off.
And I roll my eyes, but grin a little as I do. And I say, well, that's the Maxime I remember. And I say, and I just kind of make a dismissive gesture. And I say to you, look, Jessica would never call us for help. But when she calls Rosa, it's the same thing. She can always handle herself. She insists she doesn't need us. But calling Rosa is the same as calling us, and she knows that. But don't tell another soul that I figured that out. She would get angry if she thought that we were on to her. All right?
You think I don't know that? And Maxime is like taking off his clothes right here in the kitchen.
Got
to
it.
Transform.
So I have something called Gaius or Gaius,
Yep.
or which is when you say don't tell another soul and share a secret with a packmate, and add +1 to the pack pool and take a +1 tie on them. To reveal the secret, the packmate must make a disobey move, and if they succeed, I take another +1 tie on them. So I've told you that secret. That Jessica that's how Jessica asked for help. That's how Jessica asked me for help. Is she asked Rosa for help? She's never once asked me for help.
I mean, I think the thing, right, that maybe explains that extra tie, right, is that Maxime is kind of admitting that he thinks he understands Jessica a lot more than maybe some people give him credit.
So I added that +1 to the pack pool.
So this was +1 from the spell, +1 from the Gaius, tie from Maxime onto Xenophon for the spill, and a tie back from Xenophon to Maxime for the Gaius.
Yes, I think that's
no. The Gaius gives Xenophon a +1 tie, I think.
Yes, I take a
you take another plus tie. That's right. You are. I misread
yes,
it.
yeah.
You are correct. So you now have an additional 2 ties, and the pack has 2 more than we started with.
Got it. Cool. All right.
And so we've given the pack pool for the spill. Okay, cool.
Sweet.
And I'm gonna, and he's already transformed, and I'm kind of like, what do you? And I walk with him to the elevator, and press the button for the lobby. Then I transform, because we actually have to get downstairs first.
I think there's an elderly New York lady in the elevator, and she looks at you, Xenophon, and looks at the wolf next to you and said, "Oh, do you have a new dog?"
And I laugh, and I say, "Yes, but all he knows is old tricks."
Awesome. Let's close that scene, and let's go back to Jessica for a minute to see how because you ordered a track, and then we'll cut back across to Briar to figure out what they did while they were all wolfy.
Okay, so I think that's another harness the wolf roll.
I think you're right.
For me. And so that's no modifiers again. And another fail.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is you're sort of sniffing around the thing that has been on your tail. We sort of see at the window. We'll figure out exactly what it is in a few minutes' time, but let's cut across to Briar. Briar, when you come to where does Teresa live?
Teresa lives in. This is where I'm gonna betray my lack of knowledge of not just New York geography, but American geography in general. Teresa lives.
She got a you can give me a sort of more of a view of the apartment than where she lives in the city, if you like. That's what more I was looking
Yeah,
for.
I think her apartment is looks quirky, for lack of a better term. I think it's definitely more on the art bohemian side.
We're in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
It's where the hipsters live.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I think it's not hard to recognize because I've been here before.
And you sort of come round, and you're still in wolf form. Your senses are still sharp when you can see the boundaries between different things and places. But here, the way that you would describe it, as if there are spiders' webs surrounding this building, but woven like threads of information, gossamer things connecting people to people, and you can hear the sort of the flow of thoughts and information between people. And there, it's more like out here you could hear it like mumbling off a speaker, or you're just standing too far away from a phone call conversation. You can smell Teresa in there, or something that smells a lot like Teresa in there, but this place looks friggin' weird, as if a digital web has swept across this place. It's holding people in.
Yeah, I think my hackles have certainly been raised. I'm not sure what that means or what that looks like. I think like Briar is like immediately on edge. They're kind of just like standing up. I think they're trying to parse through all this like noise, through all this like all this sudden input of information. Yeah, I think they will try to like harness the what you call it? They harness the wolf and just try to like parse their way through this place.
So you're trying to move in? Is that what you're?
Yeah, I'm gonna move from where I am. I'm just gonna like, 'cause I know this apartment, but it's all covered with all these like weird spider.
Yeah,
web
you're
stuff,
outside. It's sort of trying to step in. So as you sort
Oh,
of,
okay.
yeah, you are just a position that they're correctly. You are outside the apartment,
Okay.
not inside. If you want to move in, you'd have to move in, through, and touch and push yourself and cut through these webs.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm, I'm. It's like I think I immediately kind of like when I woke up, like because I have no idea what happened, but this is weird enough. I'm gonna go through and go in.
Are you still in wolf form?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so it's not. I mean, literally, you can see people who don't really. You can see almost like the postman looks like he's about to walk past and put letters in the letterbox, but doesn't. He sort of looks slightly confused and walks on by, spots you, hasn't really passed you as a wolf, taps you and pats you on the head and gives you a little bone toy, bone, doggy biscuit, and sort of moves on quietly, not really thinking about it. It's strange, like people aren't paying attention to this building, and as you move towards it, the webbing around it is rejecting you. You will need to make your way through it. It's maybe a depends how, yeah, it would be using your superhuman abilities to move through, so you'll need to act on instinct to try it. This whatever this webbing is doesn't want you to come inside either.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Well, first I'm gonna take this bone toy and gonna toss it to the street, um, with my mouth, and yeah, I'm gonna try and make my way through. Act on instinct. Wow, that's a 4. Amazing stuff.
You guys are doing so well tonight, and I'm having to really think about hard moves, man. This is... if there are two things guaranteed to play in Leandro, there's an evil X and a lot of hard moves. You seem to have bad dice mojo, man. But I think
switch to physical die. Maybe
I think you move through and you try to push through it, and we'll come back to you in a minute. Jessica, your senses are sharp enough and your training is strong enough that you do know that something was watching you and is now you're in its crosshairs, quite literally, you feel. And as you were taken unawares by this, we are going to use the harm move. The harm move, strangely, unfortunately, is not on the PDF, but I have put a harm move tab in here for just dealing with how the way combat works. If I get to do a harm move on you, which I do in this instance because I'm putting a hard move, then you have taken harm. It's just a question of how bad that harm actually is. So something is shooting at you. I would like you to roll against the harm move.
6 -1.
So roll plus guts.
That is a 7.
So you must choose fight or flight. If you choose flight, you leave the scene after I've done the harm to you. If you choose fight, I get to choose one of the lists from the list below. But a bullet impacts into you. It's high caliber. It hurts. You take 3 harm.
I think so. Does harm go across and then
it
down?
does. It goes cross, right? And effectively, when you switch back from wolf to human, providing you roll give it to the wolf, you can take your first level of 3 levels of harm away. After that requires healing moves. When it gets to worsening and to wolf, that usually requires medical attention.
Yep. So I think I haven't come equipped to deal with someone shooting high caliber bullets at me. I think I choose flight.
Describe what it looks like after that first bullet hits you.
I think it looks, I'm already a wolf at this point. I think it looks like me. I try to think if we can be cinematic enough that I can crash through a window without taking more harm.
Oh God, yes, absolutely.
So it looks like me crashing through a window and kind of leaping out onto an adjacent rooftop, but my foreleg kind of gives way because I've just been shot, and kind of like I tumble on this rooftop, but kind of get away as fast as I can, but rather kind of limpingly.
Awesome. That sounded to me though that like you did act on that fast. So, and you are in wolf form. So the good news is you probably have just taken an advance.
Brilliant.
Okay. So what we see back at Teresa's apartment block is we see Briar King coming in. But Briar King sort of forgets that they are a werewolf and forgets that they don't live here anymore. And we just see you checking the mail. and heading up to your apartment. And there's a key in your pocket, even though you may not have had one for some time. Hey, we just hit our first hour of play, folks. Let's take 2 5-minute breaks in our play today as we hit that first act. Let's take 5 minutes. I'll see you back for 1/2 hour, and we'll get the 3/4 of the pack back together anyway. Look, so let's establish maybe Xenophon and Maxime needed to split up looking for, and they caught the trail of Jessica. And Maxime, maybe we put you back together with Jessica as you sort of catch their trail. Jessica, if you want to come back out and of wolf form and heal, you'll need to unleash your wolf. Otherwise, you can switch back without a roll, but you will be at 3 harm for the time being.
I think I will try and heal. So that is unleash is given to the wolf.
Oh, it's not
Or
unleash.
is
It's,
it
yeah,
a
it's given to the wolf.
different-
Sorry, let me find it. I just minimized my PDFs. I don't know why. It is given to the wolf with feral.
Perfect. And feral is a 1. And that's a 2. That's 1. Wow, a 10. My first success.
Well done for our second overall success of the evening and our first full success. I was beginning to worry that Grandmother Spider was sick enough to infiltrate the dice rerolling room, right? But on a 10, you choose 2. 2 of those make a great deal of sense. Plus, is like your heal plus 1 harm and your -2 or so plus 2 to the pack pool, for instance.
Yeah, I think I get. How much harm do I get to heal
get to
just
heal-
by the move?
You 3.
3. So there's no point in the additional +1. So I think I am. I'm going to go for the +2 to the pack pool and +2 armor, because that seems useful in this scenario.
Probably does.
Are you handling the pack pool, or do you need me to?
If you want to handle it, I think so far you as a group have been handling it, but
Okay, that's 2 in there, and where do I put armor?
I would.
I'll just put it in notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think apart from to heal, the reason that I have come out of wolf form is I want to press whatever kind of emergency signal we have on our phones, because I'm assuming that we do have an emergency signal, because that's something that Jessica would have put in place, that basically alerts everyone that there is shit going down, and I attach a message to this kind of pack wide that there's a shooter at Briar's apartment. And I'm at the moment kind of behind a AC building, kind of behind a kind of AC cluster on a neighboring rooftop, kind of hidden as best I can.
Cool. And I don't think you're far away, right? I think you must have been just close by when this message comes in. So with that tracker in place, I think Maxime taking the lead, Xenophon behind, you can catch up with Jessica.
Okay,
So-
so yeah.
I mean, if we're, did you were said on a nearby rooftop, so
Yeah.
I imagine we want to stay in wolf form and do a bit of hunting, right? for this shooter.
I
Yeah,
mean, I think
cool.
like when we come up on you, like, are you there in a puddle of blood or what?
I think there's a trail of blood that's the kind of splash of blood where I must have landed kind of on this rooftop. But I think that I think because I've healed, I think that this is something supernatural. I think you just see me kind of almost kind of like idly kind of tossing the bullet that was in me kind of up into the air and catching it again while I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, all right. So I say, like, come up. Good. You saved that. Put it down.
And yeah, I put it down and kind of like come to my senses and be like, yeah, probably shouldn't be touching that.
And
Well, I mean, to be honest, it's been in your body. We're not getting anything off it.
try.
X, let's just hunt down this fucker and kill him. Okay.
All right.
Forensics is not going to do.
How are we gonna find them?
I mean,
Well,
from
like with-
personal experience, stick your head out of cover and you'll find him.
well, I think I'm gonna just like shift back and start sniffing, right? Like, yeah. I mean, not my strong suit, but you know,
So as we're
it's
shifting
the
back
move to
and,
make.
as we're shifting back and forth here, I feel I should just you know, give people some choices to make sure that they're understanding again one of the beats of the system. If you take your time and you're not trying to gain any cool or special bits and pieces, you don't need to roll Give In the Wolf. If you want to use any of the Give In to the Wolf special abilities, such as you can shift them with your stat blocks around, you can have additional harm or labels, you can choose to give in to the wolf. When you do that, with the effect you might lose yourself control of yourself during that scene. But just so that is there, so people, it depends how much of a Benny they want from the wolf shift at that point. You don't need to always use it, but make your call when you do your shifting. So I'll give you the option back there, Donna and Maxime, if you do want to give in to the wolf, or you're just shifting and you want to use harness the wolf.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I'm talking about, I mean, really the only reason I would presume we shifted into human was because we need to get up to a rooftop and we want to have a conversation in character. I don't know how that works when we're in wolf form, but yeah, when I'm talking about like hunting someone down, yeah, I think I'm giving into the wolf. So.
It sort of officially says in wolf when your ability to command is limited to what you can reasonably convey using mouth and body of a wolf. Equally, growling at each other like Wookiees is only so much fun as a role play for a while, so I have no real issue with you sensibly using communication. If you're a wolf talking to a human, then it's down to lassie gestures, but if you're a wolf talking to a wolf, I've got no real problem with that, because otherwise it becomes...
I mean, so long as there's someone stuck down a well, I think we're safe on
exactly
the whole lassie communication.
Exactly so.
Okay, so let me roll.
Yeah, it feels like maybe we can't have kind of conversations about financial instruments in wolf form.
Yeah, I
of
think
like go over there, bite that person. Is probably...
think that's exactly right, buddy. You know, as long as they're sensible instructions, that's fine.
CBSs on deer carcasses are really down this year, right? Okay, well, that is, you know, living up to our route. That's a 4 total.
So you take a deep sniff.
I'm gonna assist.
I'm
gonna spend three pack to bump him to a 7.
Awesome. So that means you can ask one question.
And I think this is me, you know, I am actually sniffing at the bullet. and I say, I think I've got something. And I kind of like, come here. It's just a hint, but.
Yeah. So which question would you like to ask, Luxine?
Sorry, I thought I was rolling to give it to the wolf. Not
Oh,
to,
you give in to the wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Then you can still be supported in that respect. So you don't lose yourself, if that is the answer. I think we misunderstood which move you were pulling there. So yeah, I think that's fine. So now choose your two choices and then make a harness the wolf instead.
I mean, sorry, Jim. I mean, if you thought I was harnessing the wolf to get a question, you may not be interested in helping me in that regard. So.
Oh, I want to help you. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get you there. Yeah. So if this is not getting information, then this is just like barking, just kind of barking loud at you to keep you focused, so that you don't just go like racing off after this thing leaving us behind or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Like, hey,
okay.
don't forget we're here too.
And given, I think the pick I'm taking, given Jessica's stalwart advice to just stick your head up and that'll find the sniper, is to take 2 armor.
That makes sense. So now you can roll a harness the wolf with your feral. One of the reasons to remember about this is one of the choices you have here is to boost things like your teeth and feral up. So if you are cruddy in feral and you want to be able to do sniffy moves, then this is.
I want to know what it looks like when he's armored. Like, how does he look different than a regular wolf? That it's clearly he can take punishment that the rest of us can't.
I think it's more like a winter coat of fur, right? It's just thick and a bit scraggly, right? And like the wolf has an extra greatcoat over itself, right? So built like the proverbial brick house, okay, so okay, this is hard, so I'm just definitely gonna miss on this roll, but hey, no, it's an 8.
Dun dun.
So yeah, I think I'll take where is the trail / where is my prey.
Okay. So the reason you almost lost yourself is you caught a sniff on this bullet, and what has touched this bullet, loaded it into the gun, is sort of there just on the tip, and you catch it. It is a smell of undeath, and whatever has put this on here means that you're probably dealing with leeches, and there are vampires in them there hills. You have this smell. It's like when you open a fridge door and catch that Tupperware which you really shouldn't have opened and sniffed. It's like that.
So I think this is like I don't know how wolves look disgusted, right, when they but I think Jessica and Xenophon, knowing Maxime pretty well, kind of can recognize his takeaway from that.
Cool. So you've got the smell, but I'm going to come back across to Briar for a little while. Briar, you're this is like WandaVision time, right? You're going through the motions. You're in a life which isn't quite your own. There is something deep in the back of your brain that is trying to resist as you sort of go into Therese's apartment. You kiss her on the cheek. Nothing sort of looks on the moment until you have that Silent Hill moment from the corner of your eye where she's trapped in spiders' webs and her eyes are vacant and rolled up in her head, and then you're back but you can feel the wolf part of you trying to pull its way out. And if you would like, you could try to overcome the domination or whatever's in this room by disobeying it.
Yeah, I think we get like those montage shots of like it suddenly turned into, I guess if we're following the One Division route, it's turning into like one of those Modern Family single camera style New Girl type sitcoms. We're just talking about in beautifully inane chatter that seems to have nothing to do with the show that we've just been watching. We're having all the wolves. No, we're just talking about boring stuff. Oh, I'm talking about my. Oh, I have this job at this company and all that. But yeah, I see that moment. I'm just. Yeah, I think I see that moment. Yeah, where Trace like they're wrapped up in spider webs, kind of blink it away, but it comes up again and again. And I think just like we're like sitting down to dinner, I see it again. She's all wrapped up. And I think I'm gonna try and like grab one of those like webs. If this is dominate, I'll definitely roll that.
No, it's a disobey. When you're trying to resist an alpha orders, resist an attempt to dominate you. And what I'd suggest that the most mechanically effective scenario at this point is you are being dominated by the spider spirit in this building.
Mhm. Well, both my teeth, my guts are 0 anyway. So, roll wise, it'll be the same. There we go. That's a 4.
Every time we
Sorry, I'm giving you so much work to do.
Well, I just feel guilty because I'm trying to get you back in the game, and the
No,
dice
it's
keep
fine. Look,
playing
I
you.
have a move that benefits anyone who comes to Briar's rescue. It's fine. They get a tie and a path. So I'm fine. If you're fine with this, I'm fine with this because I don't feel too bad. Like,
Okay, as long as you're all right as a pair, 'cause I think we get the moment where you try to, and you do see it, and then the webs are around here, and you see the spiders, the little spiders, which are more machine and code than they are spiders on the wall, looking at you. You can see that they've poured out of the computer screen on the her desktop. You can see as she speaks, her mouth is sort of full of webbing, and you spot it for just a minute. Your spirit tries to break through, and I'm going to suggest that you do have just enough of a moment to hit your distress button on your phone before you fall back under its control, and that's the packmate who's going to get the tie on you.
Mhm.
Whom do you text?
Oh,
Dial.
it's probably Xenophon, because they're the best. So I want to be like them, and I'm not ashamed to. I'm very obvious about that.
Yeah, I think you sort of hit the button and you just sort of taken a selfie, almost to speak. And when it comes through to use Xenophon, it's not Briar looking good. It's Briar in that Silent Hill covered in cobwebs made out of chains of code, dust in their mouth and eyes, little spiders crawling over their skins. And I'm just double checking that no one. I did think said spiders were going to be part of this, but I'm just double checking that we haven't hit anything there for safety and support. No, we're okay. It was a prior content warning. So yeah, that pings up on your phone, Xenophon.
And I look at it and I say, okay, it was not one thing, it's another. And I kind of and I hold it in front of Maxime's face because he's a wolf right now. And then I show it to Jessica and I tuck it away. And what are our orders from the Alpha right now? Like right now, what are our orders from the Alpha?
Yours were to help Jessica.
Help Jessica. All right. I say I am not going to leave this kid to the same fate as Ram. You two can handle yourselves. And I am going to make the disobey move so that I can fuck off and go help Briar. Which I think I need to if I want to fuck off and go help Briar, right?
Resist the alpha's orders, yeah. Because you take, yeah, it's that you're not asking for your next set of instructions. So yeah, let's say this.
No, I'm just going to do it because the kid's in trouble. So that is plus guts.
It is.
All right, and my guts is at flat. Here we go. 2 5s on my dice, which gets me to a 10. 10 plus, you disobey and it empowers you. Take +1 forward. And I say, you two can handle this. You two can handle this. Bring me back an ear. I'm gonna go help the kid. And I'm just out of there.
Split the party. GM victory achieved.
Achievement unlocked, yeah.
So cool. So that's your move. Whilst Jessica, Maxine, the two members of the pack which seem to like each other the least, it's all on you.
Well, I am just waiting for Jessica to, slide into Wolf.
And yeah, I do, and I think that I'm angry at this point with Xenophon because I think that I was just about to say that let's, like, the most important thing is helping Briar here, and that'll get us to the bottom of this. And but I'm like, if he wants to go off and deal with it on his own, he can go off and deal with it on his own. And so I'm kind of I'm fired up and want to kind of take out that anger on finding this this creature that shot me. And I think that means I am giving in to the wolf.
So just before we do that, what I want to understand, was that your internal monologue of motivation, or were you spilling to Maxine?
I think the way I phrased that was internal monologue, but I think I also spilled to Maxime. I am frustrated that Xenophon won't even kind of wait to formulate a plan, kind of has so little trust in me that just kind of assumes that I'll be against whatever he wants, whatever they want to do. And yeah, I'm just kind of expressing that frustration.
I mean, I'm not sure, like, Maxime is in wolf form, so you get like a head tilt and an ear flop, right? Which is kind of like, don't be silly. He didn't explain himself because he trusts you completely. Come on, let's go kick some ass.
If only there was a comfort and support move, but there's not. You just get rewarded to be emotionally vulnerable in this game. So, but you did do that. So, if you did do that and that was taken up by Maxime, then you would add 1 to the pack pool, and Maxime gets a tie on Jessica.
And
but yeah, so you want to give in to the wolf? Let's go.
Yep. With that. So giving to the wolf will be a. Sorry, my tab arrangement is not ideal. So that's with
feral?
What stat is that with? Feral. So that's a 1 and +1 rolling. That is a 7.
Okay, so you have to choose 1 from the list, which is
Yeah, got it.
to do that?
So presumably because I was human again, I would have lost my armor from before. So
Yeah, every time you pull this move, you're effectively resetting your whatever you had from it. It doesn't stack, unfortunately.
yeah. So I think I'm just going for that +2 armor again, and I think it looks. I think that normally, for me, it looks a bit different. I think normally I'm quite a kind of sleek, quite small, svelte sort of wolf, but I'm noticeably more muscled and bulky with when I kind of give into the wolf and get armored. And I just let out a howl and shoot off in the direction that that I got shot from, and kind of sniffing all the way, kind of trying to track. And so that's presumably straight away a actually that we already have Maxim's.
Yeah, Maxim's already got
so
Maxim's already got the trail, so you don't need to roll to get the trail again. Maxim is on it.
Yeah, so I think I'm running alongside Maxim here. I think I want to kind of follow the trail as well as Maxim.
Cool. So it does take a little time to cross New York. It'll take a long time to cross New York. Say up from the Lower East Side, making your way up things like past the Flatiron and Empire State Building, trying to get unseen because you're tracing this now all the way up as you're facing a car that's traveled them. You sort of finally get into a limousine, and we see you making your way. They're up on Lenox Hill, up towards the Upper East Side, and we sort of see you approaching and probably stalking through Central Park as you get this smell on one of those buildings that's got that sort of slightly Ghostbusters feel on the East Park side of New York, and you're looking at it. Man, it's been a number of years since I've been to New York, and I really want to go back. But now Jim and his fellow Americans have got rid of their ratbag ex-president. I feel like I can come back to your country as well. So
and I'm just going to interject. Just like step out of character for a moment. No kidding. I live like a 45-minute train ride outside the city. So if you ever do come, you've got a place to stay.
Oh,
so
yeah, man.
Just keep that in mind. Yeah.
It's back on my holiday list to come back at some point. When I do, I will tap you up. That's for sure. It would be lovely to spend some actual real time with you. But back to now, I think we'll leave you outside that building, whilst we'll come back to the other building where we see you, Xenophon. Are you in wolf or are you in human form?
I think I'm in. I think I'm. So I need to get to, like, we were in Manhattan and I need to get to Brooklyn, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm in wolf form, because if I gotta take an Uber, I'm not getting there till tomorrow, right? So I am just gonna wolf out, and you know what I do? I wolf out and I pop down to the nearest subway tunnel, and go hop the turnstile, rip down through the crowd as everyone goes, "What the fuck?" And just off the platform onto the tracks, boom, head for Brooklyn.
Awesome. So yeah, again, we see.
This is just.
It's just narrative. Just
yeah.
View. This would be the cutscene of the wolf running
exactly. Yeah.
in there. But yeah, you're up in one of those Brooklyn areas which have been flats, which are still too apartments, which are still too small. in converted ex-warehouse and wolf.
Yeah, I come up,
Yeah.
I come up out of the train station in Dumbo or whatever, and I've got to, then run another 8 blocks to get to where he is because the train only runs through part of Brooklyn. but once I'm getting close, then I've got my sniffer out and I'm like, what's going on? Where is he?
You've.
Sorry,
Yeah.
where are they?
Where are they? I think in the scenario is the same one I pointed to you. We get you sort of appearing at this building, which is in your wolf form. You can see that there is something wrong. It is like even thicker than when we saw it before. There are webs around this as if it's cocooning a fly. But these webs are not quite in this world, and they're not quite in the other. There's the howl of the pack. You can almost feel this pull of the web and the spider which sits between this world and the next. And in this incarnation at least, grandmother spider is much more really connected to the web, and normally their presence is not this close to the real world, and you've hardly ever heard about it breaking through. So this is friggin' weird and a little uncanny.
So I would like to act on instinct.
Yeah.
And get up there and kind of go down, and my eyes go red, and I can just see those strands and threads and stuff all kind of crossed around. And then I'm gonna do my, like Mission Impossible thing, leap over one, duck under the next, scoot around the side of one, whatever, like reach through to like push a door open with a paw, and see if I can kind of just, thread the maze with my, just as a wolf, kind of sliding through stuff like I'm moving through the underbrush or something like that.
Got you. Roll for me then your act on instinct with your feral.
Feral. So this is, I'm probably more at home as a person than I am as a wolf. My feral is actually -1, but I got to help the kid out. So, and I think I'm sounding out to him as I'm doing that, hoping that he'll hear me wherever he may be. That is an 8 -1. I squeak through with a 7.
So on a 7 you do it, but I'm going to describe how the situation is not quite under your control, and I do think you are outside the apartment. You've made your way all the way through, and as you sort of raise your paw and your last paw over, there is just a twang as one spider web is tucked, but it's more like this is all one web, and it reverberates through like a chord on a MIDI keyboard being twanged as you realize that you've achieved it. You've got through, but the things inside know you are here. You have made enough of a noise that I'm going to see if Briar wishes to use any of their funky moves or would like to try and disobey again.
I think having kind of like at least made that connection to Xenophon, I think I feel like I want to get out of here, man. And the wolf in me wants to get out of it here as well. They're not having any of this. This is not great. Whatever involvement Teresa might have, I don't know. Or she might have just been wrapped up in this, but I think I'm going to try and give into the wolf to like, not to give you any more work, Dave, in case this doesn't work out again. But I think this is like Briar's instinct is to like, what's the point of being a werewolf? I can't just do this. Okay, so I'll give into the wolf.
Roll with your feral, my friend.
Well, there you go. That's a 12.
When it matters, and the fiction has got you into as much drama as we can. You get to choose 2 from the list.
Yeah, I'm going to add 2 to the pack pool. And can I ask, when you change these like modifiers, are they permanent or do they only stay for the scene? When you reduce like
They will
heart and
stay
guts?
for as long as you're in your wolf form.
Okay, cool. I think I'll just add 2 to the pack pool and yeah, because my teeth and guts are 0. I'm gonna change those modifiers then. Gonna reduce heart down to no, I'm gonna reduce heart and feral by 1, and I'm gonna add 1 each to teeth and guts.
Hey, so you've just given it the wolf on a great full success there. So why don't we hear you describe what that looks like as you sort of assert control of reality back?
I think there's like this moment when um when Briar and maybe Teresa are like sitting on the couch watching TV, and Briar has this like gnawing sensation that this isn't wrong, this isn't wrong, this isn't right. Not this isn't wrong. Oh well, someone's telling them this isn't wrong. But Briar is like saying back, this isn't right. But as they're saying this isn't right, that sentence just becomes more and more intelligible. It starts turning into growling. And they put a hand on Teresa's hand, give her this like stare that is slowly turning like angrier and angrier. And as it gets angrier, I think they start shifting to their wolf form. And as they're doing that, kind of like the world around them shifts. It's like the weird mask of this like sitcom kind of illusion is being ripped away, and the center point of that being ripped away is Briar turning into a wolf. um I've not actually watched that show. I should do that at some point. But I think the like it's like a filter being ripped out, and suddenly, well, Price standing in the middle of all this web nonsense.
Yeah, that's lovely. And you sort of see spiders all around you, lots of little ones mostly, but they are now driving themselves down the webbing towards you, and you are definitely in trouble. Elsewhere in the east side, well, actually, the building, the Ghostbusters built on the west side, but yeah, we'll break continuity. The Ghostbusters looking building is there, and the smell leads towards it. You are sure, and there's not just one smell here, this is a nest of the damn things. And this probably isn't the first time you've crossed paths with vampires, either of you. They are definitely the other power brokers in the city. Well, other than the demon, but we don't talk about them. But these, they normally, you normally keep each other at a wide distance. Although they cover what you've got, they're not strong enough normally to make this sort of move against you. The fact they have means that maybe your underbelly is weaker than you hoped. What's going through your mind when you sort of digest those realities, Jessica?
So I'm trying to fight down the temptation to just go in there and start like clawing and biting and ripping. But I know that would be a terrible idea. So it's a bit of a kind of emotional maelstrom. Like I almost think I'm spilling again here. Like I almost think that this isn't my anger this time. This is my fear for the pack. This is kind of like we're more vulnerable than I thought. And so I think I'm spilling to Maxim again.
Excellent. Maxim, how are you reacting?
Yeah, I think like my feeling like on the way here was, it was like great to be home, and here is Jessica about to kick ass, and I'll be there, and it'll be awesome, right? And then when we realize that it's a nest, which is a bit too much for us to bite off with just the two of us, and I can kind of see the fear in Jessica, if I'm not reading too much into the situation. It's like definitely ready to follow her lead, and maybe there's a kind of a nuzzling, or maybe like a pulling at her to just cut and run and come back. We know where they are, right? This is enough for right now.
And I think I listened to that, and I think I certainly want to change back into human form here. I don't want to get caught as a wolf, kind of conspicuously near all these vampires. And I say we need to regroup and head whatever the best way to head in human form to our building is, to our kind of offices.
Okay.
Is that so we should add to the pack pool, right?
Yeah, one to the pack pool.
I think I did that already.
Oh, it's 2, isn't it, for spill?
One.
One.
Okay, my sheet says 2. No, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Spill.
It's definitely a 1 for spill in the PDF that I.
Where are you looking, Donna?
My basic moves PDF from the Kickstarter. It says 2, but obviously not.
I downloaded. These are the ones I've downloaded most recently from Becky's from off Black Armada, but whether or not they are correct.
It's obviously changed at some point, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
May have updated, but there are some mistakes on that. But do you want to? I don't know if you want to send me the one you've got, and I'll compare it.
Yeah, or I'll check the rule book at our next break. Okay, and I'll take an extra.
I'll do that now.
With Jessica.
Oh.
Did you already do that as well?
Just checking. Yes, +1 pack pool and pack mate one tie is what it says in the main book as well.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's been. Yeah. There are a couple of typos on the move sheets, unfortunately.
Okay,
cool. The book is correct. From having a conversation with Becky.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so that's what you're doing, and Xenophon, you've triggered it, and you can hear, much like Briar can, the clatter of it is like twangs on copper wire, right? As you can see this, and it's slightly like the Matrix, with like dots of zeros of green are sort of pinning off this, and you can feel that you are not alone. Are you making your way into the apartment?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm barking for Briar. Like, where are you? Where are you?
You smash open the door.
Find me.
Yeah, I think you've got as far as the apartment they were in. You're fucking the center. You were literally outside the apartment door when it went wrong. So you smash open the apartment door, and you can see Briar is in wolf form now as well. You can see this woman who has spiders surrounding her, webbing connected to her, and webbing which comes out of a computer screen touching into her. And you do recognize, I think you probably, well, I don't know. Briar, will Xenophon have come across that attempt to try and get Teresa into the pack or not?
Yeah, I think like Xenophon would know, given they seem to know quite a lot about the pack's dealings. I think they know that like I tried to come in with like another person, and for whatever reason, Teresa was rejected. So I think they would recognize her.
Sure. So you do recognize her, and she does seem to be very consumed. As the howl, I think you do know that this is an aspect, probably should be an aspect of Grandmother Spider, but it's corrupted and odd, and it shouldn't be here in this real world. And right now, Teresa is being sort of pulled back in towards the computer screen, and the spiders are drawing themselves towards you, and they are going to attack. Briar, what are you doing?
Ooh. I think because of my boisterous nature, see Xenophon and give an embarrassingly high-pitched yip. But I think I say I start yelling. I can't really do that right now. Yelling. I think my main thing was that like I want to like at least get the spiders off of Teresa. There seems to be like a wave of them, right? These spiders, right? So I think I'm kind of like, well, first I yipped and then I barked at the direction of like the computer screen where they're coming from, as I like try to like clear like the spiders off of Teresa.
Okay.
Basically try to like save her.
Sure. As you push the spiders away, you hear the computer screen and the echoes of the spiders almost say, it says, Grandmother Spider has chosen her. She is ours. Do not disobey. I will point you towards your pack traditions.
Okay.
I say, kid, we don't have time for this. Pull a plug on it, and then we can figure out what to do afterwards. And I am using my silver tongue to persuade a packmate to disobey, to ignore a tradition.
Roll plus heart.
I'm gonna roll plus heart.
Disobey or obey the alpha channel. Yeah, roll plus heart.
I'll do that. Oh, that's a 4. Luckily,
got
my
three
heart
hearts.
is 3, so that gets me to 7. So on a 7 and 9, if the packmate is a PC and they agree to do what I want, they get a +1 forward to act on it. Pull the plug is what I'm saying.
Oh, because Xenophon came to my aid, they get a +1 tie on me and can advance 1 point on their path, either human or wolf.
Ooh, I came to you in wolf form, so I'll advance on my wolf form, and I'll take that 3rd tie with you, and then that fills me up on both sides and gives me an advance. So thank you. Thanks, kid.
I'd probably leave that first one wolf one down because you're behaving in quite a persuasive way as well. So
Yeah,
cool.
I think I'm not gonna say no to Xenophon. I've hung out with them. I've never hung out with Grandmother Spider. So I'm gonna do as I say. I'm gonna try and disobey.
You don't need to disobey. You're okay to choose to disobey here. It's more if you are choosing to disobey and you are going to try and stop the web from pulling her in, you will need to, as I say, pull the plug, break the screen, which will be a mauling.
Yeah, I'm gonna very ungainly launch myself at the screen. And that would be
With teeth, which you have a 1 in.
Yeah, let me just edit this modifier. Roll.
I mean, you have a 1 in it unless you give in to the wolf.
You're already in wolf form, didn't you?
I already did.
Oh,
That's where I got the 1.
labels around, yeah.
Yeah, and that gets me to a 10. So I see the dice room understands narrative logic and an arc. Apparently, I got a 10.
So dice rooms as programmed by Leandro. It's got boom. Great. So choose 2.
I will. Let's see. These good moves. Well, I don't want to take harm. I can. No, I can afford to take harm. It's fine. So I'm not going to choose that. I think I impress or intimidate someone, and I guess mechanically, do I need to deal harm? Because I'll do that.
You're already gonna do harm from hitting it. It's only a computer. You're trying to break it. That's its
Okay.
portal through. So impress or intimidate someone will be part of it. You might choose to knock her out, or you might choose to discern the opponent's next move.
Yeah, I think I'll discern her opponent's next move. That seems the smart thing to do.
Okay, what you see as you smash the computer with your wolf claws is you can feel Grandmother Spider running underneath, but Grandmother Spider is not at the heart of her web. Something else is. Someone's corrupted your totem and perhaps taken it over.
I think I just growl at that. At that. Again, not had a chance to meet her yet. But I know it's not right.
Teresa isn't pulled in, but she is still. The effect of the spiders and that distortion in the world is fading, but still here. I mean, was this your second one to knock her out, or did you say impress or intimidate someone?
I think it was to impress. Yeah, I did say impress or intimidate someone.
So I think you probably intimidate her and the spiders, and she sort of stops, steps, looks at you, whispers your name, and then is sort of holding herself back against the wall. She looks at you and says, "Why are you here?"
I think I try to, howl in an intimidating manner, but it's still Teresa, so I think it's not coming off the best. I think it's a bit of an insecure kind of howl. Like, I don't have to explain myself to you. Don't know if it translates to her, but I'm staying in wolf form.
She hisses back at you, and as she does, like, you can see the webs in her mouth, and she says, "Doesn't matter." Says, "So the spider belongs to us now," and she almost, I think, almost flattens and distorts, and you sort of see a shift out of your view, as if she's moved from one place to another.
That doesn't look great. I wonder what's Xenophon's take on this.
Well, Xenophon is the Pax Howl. I'm wondering exactly what their take is.
Let me see. I think I'm curious about something here now.
What are you curious about? How can I help you?
Just like if there's a what I would want is, like, it sounds like they're like folding up and like kind of going somewhere or something. Like there's sort of,
yeah.
Can I somehow get a glimpse, whether it's a smell, a sound, a sight of where they're going?
Oh, well,
can I like look over their shoulder into the doorway that they're leaving through?
Absolutely, that would be a harness the wolf.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So I'm gonna do that. Make sure I know what I'm doing here.
So you're rolling with your heart, and then it's like an assess the situation, investigate type move.
Yes, harness the wolf heart. Cool. There we go. And you know what? I got confused by harness the wolf because the PDF I'm looking at has heart in brackets next to the move, but in the text description it says roll plus fear.
Yeah, that is one of the typos. So I'm going to I'm 100% pretty. It's the 2 seconds actually. He says, let me go back and hit the moves in the basic moves. Harness the wolf is heart.
Got it.
I checked that. Yeah, that was just sort of had to double check my own thinking there, but it's the one in the move and not the body of the text. Something went wrong.
Yeah, and so this is like, ears on a swivel, nostrils flare, eyes unblinking as they fold up. And I am just, taking in full concentration on that to see if I can catch any clue of where it is that they're going. There we go. So that's that. You can do whatever you like with that, my friend.
So that is a hard move for me, and I think
It's pulling me in with it, isn't it?
it's got to be right. You look.
I just step a little too close and I get sucked in. Yeah,
it's the Nietzsche quote, right? We stare into the abyss, boom.
Yeah.
You sort of feel it, you see it, you feel this one reality, and it's so pure, Xenophon, to see the spider, the numbers moving, the finance, and then you're gone. And Jim has gone. He's back. And you're alone. And there are no cobwebs. And there is no oddness. But you are alone and you're no longer in trouble, Briar King. And we're keeping up with the scenario that one member of the pack is separated in doom at all time.
Yeah, that's not great. Sorry, I just got into a coughing fit. Can we
No
just take a
problem.
break
You
soon so I
okay?
can get some
Yeah.
water?
Are we? I think we're right up on our second break here, right?
Can we take 5 minutes here?
Yeah, I
let's
just need
do
some
it.
water.
At that
Yeah.
point. No, absolutely. Let's take 5 minutes there, gang. Okay, so if we were coming back from commercial break, we would see Briar King looking at this devastation around them and the strangeness and the world sort of now reasserting themselves back to normal. What does Briar do?
God, it all happened so quickly. Shit, Xenophon's gone. I think the first thing is that like you see this like in this probably rather cold and dark apartment, all of a sudden the Briar as a wolf kind of like pad up to the wall, kind of like pat it almost half-heartedly, like, wait, where did you go? And then I think Briar will shift back to like a person, and then kind of like rather panicky, like fumble for their phone and try and call Xenophon. See if I can reach them, which probably isn't gonna work. but that's what Briar first does.
Your phone rings 3 times. It connects, and then spiders start pouring out of the bottom of the phone.
I'm gonna
So-
throw it down.
What I'd like you to do is roll against the harm move in the first instance.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's another harm tab.
Oh no, plus guts. Oh, so since I shifted back to human form, I lose the modifiers, right?
You do. You lose. Yeah, you lose the modifiers, and you lose any harm that you've taken.
Okay,
Up
cool.
to 3 levels of it.
Okay. Probably shouldn't have shifted back, but I think that's what a panicky cub would do. Okay, got to 0. I'm just gonna very quickly create this roll. That's a 10.
Okay. So on a 10 plus.
Yeah, the PC can choose either nothing happens or take -1 harm, and the MC chooses one thing from the Sentinel list below. Well, I don't have any harm, so I think I'll just be grand. I'll just
Okay. So take 2 harm as the spiders bite you and you shake them off, and they sort of dissipate into motes of information floating in the world. But yeah, do take 2 harm. Slightly oddly written, this move. It's the fact that it's like it's sort of like the take a powerful blow move in Masked is where I think about it, where it can get, you're going to take harm, but it can get worse, and that's how it works running down. So you just take the original harm and nothing else. But the fact is that you realize that what you do realize is ringing Xenophon is enough of a signal that might be able to break you through. Wherever they are, there are ways through to them. You'll get swarmed by spiders on the way, but yeah, there's a way through.
Okay, so my phone is still okay. Just the spiders have
No.
Okay, my phone is
But
fine.
there's a landline here. When you sort of turn around, you realize the apartment is not in this perfect idyllic world you left it in. The room is, the building is, the apartment's almost boxed up, and everything's got labeled on the cardboard boxes, and there are shipping instructions on the table, and a ticket on the table to Boston. It looks very much like Teresa was planning to leave town.
Oh,
But there is
that's
her
nice.
phone's on the table, and there's still a landline, and if you lift it, there's still a dial tone.
Yeah. This time I'm not gonna call Xenophon. I'm gonna try and call someone else in back. Probably not the pack leader. I don't want to like bother her with this. Or at least like I don't want to seem like, hey mom, I made a bad mistake. So I'm gonna call the next best thing. I'm gonna try and call Jessica.
So I think when my phone is called, can I say that I have just stormed into Rosa's office?
Yeah.
Because that's the next thing I want to do, and slam and be in the process of slamming the bullet down on Rosa's desk and kind of saying, we've got a nest of vampires shooting, like, and they shot me. And then the phone rings and I immediately put it on speakerphone.
So, Bodhi, I'm aware of the fact this is the first time we've played together, but if everyone else here will know that if there's an opportunity for you to throw more drama at the game, the only thing I will do at the end is throw roses at you and blow kisses. So please definitely frame that, because that is dramatically appropriate. Love it. And yeah,
Can I just wonder so like straight after we retreat from the nest of vampires, we have shifted back into human form, right?
Yeah.
What kind of trip back to Rosa's office do we share?
I personally think Jessica is silent and fuming, but if you want to try and get through, then kind of go for it.
No, I mean, I don't want to like disturb the kind of trajectory that you set up, which is pretty good. So I think maybe I just know you well enough to say, like, she just got to work this out. Like, attracting her attention now is probably a bad thing, right? So following you into Rosa's office, I guess.
Cool. And I don't think I mention that I'm in Rosa's office. I think I just let Briar speak.
Hey, Jessica. We've got a situation.
Seem to be going thick and fast today. What's up?
Can I just check if the phone's to your ear, or have you put it on speaker? Because I just want to make sure I am.
I have put it on speaker and put it on Rosa's desk next to the bullet.
I love Jessica.
Yeah, Xenophon is missing, and the grandmother spire is being corrupted, and well, whatever the corruption is building webs all over the city, and they've taken Xenophon. It's not great, I have to say.
Okay, step back. Last I heard, you were the one who was missing, and Xenophon was looking for you.
Oh.
What?
Well, okay. Well, I wasn't sure how I got here. I kind of got lost in the wolf of it all. And when I came to, I was in my ex's apartment, and we had been caught in some kind of weird sitcom-y Twin Peaksy style illusion. But it was that illusion was created by the webs of Grandmother Spider, who are all these codey weird digital spiders. But she's not sitting in the middle of her web anymore. Something else is in there. And Xenophon came to save me, which they did, and they tried to go after my ex, but they kind of got folded into a wall, and now they're gone, and it's just me here.
And I think at this point, I just look up at Rosa, and it's obvious I'm expecting Rosa to be the one to speak next. Or inviting Rosa to be the one to speak.
Get back here now.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, wait a minute. Like, we're just leaving Xenophon there. No, we should be going there.
Xenophon ain't there anymore.
Well, where really, you're just gonna let's just come back here and discuss matters like
She's Brooks and stands. And
yeah,
her eyes.
Rosa, this is obviously how everyone fucking dies on your watch.
And I think I can't. I don't know what this looks like mechanically, but Jessica can't let that stand. Like, I mean, Maxim is only just back to the pack. Like, he can't talk to Rosa like that. So,
Well, I think I'm going to cut straight to making a challenge, right?
Yeah, well, Rosa's eyes glow and her fingers extend, and you look her down, and that, well, this is the thing. If you are not gonna let her run in this scenario, then it would be a make a challenge move. Okay, this is one. This is one of the, well, to begin, we have a NPC alpha, which is the oddity here, right? But to make a challenge, you're trying to dominate the alpha. You're trying to get the alpha to back down. They are also an NPC, but there's a move around this. The success for this move is you get to take over the pack and change your skin. The failure is you get a good thrashing. It's one of these lovely moves I found, and I applaud Becky for writing it, which is there is no good outcome. There are just less worse outcomes. But please roll with your guts to make a challenge.
Okay. That's a 10.
Okay, so what we want to remind ourselves of here, because I don't think it's going to make a huge difference in this instance, but ties are one of the things that could be important here. And actually, power can be quite ephemeral here, right? And whether or not you stay alpha for a long time to that. But you can spend +1 a tie in a character game +1 to roll. So yeah, it's more you make your challenge of 10+. You are trying to dominate her into taking the pack from her. Okay, so she looks at you, and her confidence sort of crumbles for a moment, and she looks into your eyes, and she sort of waves her hand at you and says, "He said, if you want this throne of dust, you take it." Maxim said, "You see how far they'll follow you." Said, "Your game."
We're going to save Xenophon right now. You have a problem with that, Jessica? You think that's not the right thing to do?
I think it's the right thing to do. I think your way is the wrong way to do it. So I'm disobeying. That was out of character. That last sentence, that sounded a bit odd. Like, yeah. I'm rolling to disobey. Like, I think it's the wrong way to go about it. And so that is guts, which is -1.
You're good at following orders, not. Just roll boxcars. You'll be fine.
That's an 8. So yeah, take -1 from the pack food. It troubles me greatly. I mean, like, I have just gone against the alpha for the enforcer. That's enough to trouble me greatly all by itself. And yeah, I'm feeling like there's a bit of always feels like there's a power vacuum here, because like I imagine your control's a bit shaky still. Like, no one else knows that you're the new alpha yet. So like, I think that troubles me greatly. Like, you don't want weak leadership like a time like this. So I'm just freaked out. And I think what it looks like is I'm staying here and making a plan whether you go rushing off or not. Like, our goal's the same, but we're going for different methods. I'm kind of thinking that rushing off and kind of herring off every which way has already got like two of us in trouble today. Like, let's slow things down and take it carefully.
Okay. Awesome. Maxime, you've just taken on the Alpha playbook as a result of the move that you have just pulled. The benefit of that, you're another pack leader. Take the Alpha skill, discard your previous skill, keep your original stats and moves, and take one move from the Alpha list. So whilst you are planning on that, I'm gonna say we say a little hi to Xenophon, who is you ain't in Kansas anymore. You ain't in New York anymore, or maybe you are. You're in. It is a web, and it is a truly interconnected web. You can see information moving back and forward. You can see secrets, you can see lies, you can see Snapchats that no one should see disappearing, you can see bitcoins moving, you can see transporting information, and every one of these strands pulls back and forth. It should be pointing towards you, these strands, but something is strange. These things are pointing uptown. Even more worrying is the web here. And you've probably not really grasped it, maybe before, Xenophon. New York. Maybe you've potentially thought that New York has always been the center of the web, but it sort of isn't. It's just part of the web. The web stretches on as far as you can see across this great nation and out into the world.
Well, I kind of like the idea that, like, New York's not the center of the web, but it's like one of those parts of the web that catches the most flies. You know what I mean? Like it's like over that choice opening in the, that crack in the window where with a nice breeze that the bugs come in through.
You're right. It's a big old node, right? It's Gibson style. This is a big node that you're sitting here, and there are elements of things which will be ice-like floating around here on the web. It is strange, and you're not quite sure how to navigate it. You do see ahead in the distance away from you, though, the thing that looks like Teresa is hopping across the web and literally running around strands of it as if this was her playground.
I was in wolf form when I came through. Am I in wolf form now, or do I look like a person?
You're in whichever form you want to look like.
You know what I think?
A digital avatar version of your wolf.
This is where I get to like throw a little salute to White Wolf, and in the web I have a hybrid form, right? I'm like half human, half wolf, right? Kind of upright on my back legs and like sleek and all this kind of stuff and everything. And my coat looks like it could be some kind of designer fashion that I'm wearing or something. And that's my avatar here, is that kind of like, like liminal creature between, my fashionable self and my, sleek wolf self. So I holler at her to get her attention.
She ain't gonna listen to you unless you're gonna try and dominate her.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm going to say, you are going to take me, basically, you are going to take me to your master, or I'm going to drag you back to him. Them, her, it. So let me try and dominate here, which in this case is, let me go to my moves here. Dominate is teeth. And my teeth is at 1, I think, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll with that and see what I got. I get a 9 on the dice. +1 gets me to 10.
You're full control of the situations. All do as they're told if it's dangerous to them. She stops, and her face is, I say, as much. Her eyes are spider-like. She has spider-like fangs and webs. Her fingers and her body is sort of touched with this webbing, and she looks at you and says, I will take you if that's what you want. I don't think you'll like what you find.
And I snort. And I say, your master doesn't pay you to think. They pay you to obey. So obey.
Follow me then.
And I do.
Okay. And Maxime, where did you wait for Briar to come back to you here, or were you heading out?
I'm presuming that I have Rosa, right?
Rosa will go. Yeah, she's in the city.
So we are going to wherever Briar is. I mean, that was my initial reaction, right? Let's not bring Briar in and sit around the place while Xenophon is getting whatevered, but let's go straight to the source, right?
Yeah, I guess then you probably sent a message saying "stay put" instead of "come here."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Briar, because sitting there, just thinking, wait, what the fuck? Wait, what just happened?
We were still on speakerphone, right, for all of that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to point out. I mean, it's not just Jessica and Rosa who know about that. Briar heard all that. So yeah, they're just kind of sitting there like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm sitting. Okay, I'm waiting.
So yeah, post haste directly to Briar.
Time passes. You are there.
Yeah, I think Briar's like that. Just sitting, like looking, staring at the wall. That Xenophon like disappeared into. But as soon as like they come in, they stand up. Kind of looks hesitantly at the two of you. Just,
why don't you explain what happened, Briar?
Woke up here. Was caught in an illusion. It was coming from there. Points at the computer that's now trashed. It was spitting out webs and spiders. It ensnared Teresa, or was using Teresa, or Teresa was using it. I'm not sure. And then as Teresa was getting away through there, points at the wall. They're like folding into that. Xenophon reached out to them and got sucked in. I don't know. So you're leader now?
Needs must, Briar. So mechanically speaking, I mean, do we think that we can, if Briar is familiar with the kind of web opening, could they harness the wolf to open it back up?
Yeah.
Okay. So
more act on instinct than harness the wolf.
Okay.
To become abilities. But Briar could definitely try to open it up. All they need is a cell phone and a good following wind.
Okay. So the move I took from Alpha is who's a good wolf. So when I ask a packmate to make a move by praising them or emotionally boosting them, give them a +1 on that move. So so it's something like, puts a hand on Briar's shoulder and says, okay, well, why don't you kickstart your cell phone and let's get back in there, find Xenophon before it's too late.
Probably normally Briar would have many more questions about suddenly the prodigal son swanning in, taking control again. But my heart beats insecure, and I'm being praised for this, or at least I'm being boosted. So they're like, yeah. And also it's the same Xenophon. Like honestly, Briar would have been up for going after Xenophon. Anyway.
Also, like if you're ticking boxes, the alpha is telling you to do something. So
Yeah. God. Yeah. I think Briar would just go like, yeah. I'll give it a go. And they take their phone.
And sorry, we just recalling, right? You were saying that something had kind of corrupted grandmother spider, so we're like going in there to protect her as well, right?
Yeah. Oh man, we are just marking paths left, right, and center, aren't we?
This is a good thing, right? This is designed to, you do your role play, you get your advances, and it's designed to run for mini to mid-length campaigns. So get them.
Okay, so I get a +1 on acting on instinct. Sorry, I'm just.
You get it. I'm giving you a -1 for my move too. Yeah.
Feral. Let me just modify this. What is my feral? Oh, it's just one. This. And man, all right, that's an 11.
You've gone from like 3 misses in a row to 4 10 pluses, you know.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain. Clearly the dice room's like, all right, we're winding it down.
Yeah, it's dramatically appropriate dice room tonight. So on a 10+, you do it. Describe how you succeed, give it a little flourish, and take +1 packful.
Yeah, I think what happens, like, one hand on like the wall and the other hand is like on my phone, and I kind of like dial Xenophon again. As soon as like the spiders kind of like stream out, I immediately like press the phone against the wall so that the spider starts streaming against the wall, and I think that creates like this feedback loop that kind of starts tearing like through the wall into like this digital web cyberspace that Xenophon got sucked in. So it's like the spiders came in like bam against the wall, and I think like we start like tearing like, well, not like tearing a hole, but like creating like an entryway into this other space. If that's okay, Dave.
It's absolutely it's your narrative to define, and that's what you're trying to succeed. So playing to find out, right? And that's what happens. And the pack has the ability to step through, with the exception of Xenophon, who has followed Teresa to the heart of the web. And it is like a pulsing cocoon of spider threads being pulled and twanged in different directions. Xenophon, it's quite impressive in some ways that someone has managed to deliver this level of control and bind the spirit quite so powerfully, but also quite terrifying. And the web the spiders sort of almost unweave it and pull it apart, allowing you to step forward and in. Are you stepping in? Anything you want to do before you step in?
Oh, I think as I step forward, I make a dismissive gesture to Teresa, like, I don't need you anymore. And again, and like as the webs start to wrap around me and touch me and kind of absorb me in, I'm gonna do my best to try and I just close my eyes and feel that you know, I imagine it feels something like spiders crawling all over me as I'm doing that. And I'm looking for meaning in that touch as they, you know, what is the, like, cause it's all metaphorical, it's spiders, but it's data, but it's, you know, and I'm used to looking at like streams of numbers going past me. And I'm trying to make the connection, you know, to connect my, like, you know, quant knowledge with the occult stuff that's happening here. So I'm gonna try and harness the wolf here, see if I can, you know, gather some more information. So plus heart, right?
Yeah.
Swear to God that is an 11 there.
You maxed out. You're asking me 3 questions, my friend.
14. Oh, where's the escape route?
As you sort of feel it and you touch it, you found the hard line. You know what to pull that would allow you to to jump out of this, to pull yourself back into the real world.
Got it. What do they really want?
Are you asking that of the spiders or the thing that's controlling it?
What I think it's the thing that's controlling it, and mostly kind of yeah. What does the thing controlling the spider really want?
Power, dominance, everything to cede to their will.
And who is the weakest here?
The weakest link in this entire chain, because you think and you spotted it and you're sure of it now, it's Teresa. If Teresa can be pulled out of this control, she's some sort of conduit. She's being used against her will.
So I turn to her and I say, you wanted to be in the pack, didn't you?
Too late for that.
It's never too late. Do you still want it?
Jokes, it's too late. I belong to the spider.
And so for a moment, I'm going to step out of character. What did we establish about? Because we established some stuff in the first section about our first session about what we need to do to become a werewolf. Did we?
I think if they want it, if you want it, yeah, I think she say we sort of said, I believe, that if you want it, if you want to be in, and you choose to, some people turn, some people always were, other people could be turned with a bite. But she sort of looks in probably to their eyes and said, I've always been strong enough. And he said, I just got a better deal.
I shake my head. And I say, why would you want to serve when you could run with us? We don't serve anyone except each other. No one from the outside tells us what to do. And I want to provoke. She's not a pack mate, so I can't provoke her to spell. But I can use silver tongue on her.
Yeah, you can.
Oh nope, that's also pack mate. Sorry.
So
I can't use that on her.
Are you asking her to sort of give? What are you trying to move in the fiction here, Jim?
Oh, you know what? I think I'm trying to dominate her. I'm trying to get her to reject the spider and throw her lot in with us, by promising her that she can be one of us if she does that.
That seems appropriate.
And you know, like I bare my fangs and I say, I'll make you one of us right now.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got. So that is plus T, which I think is +1 for me. Yep. Perfect. There it is.
She looks at you and snorts and says, "You're not the big game in town anymore." And she points at the center of the web, says, "He is." And the camera closes in as you sort of see at the center of the web, which is quite some metaphorical distance away. And right there at the center of the web, pulling all of the threads and looking out at you, we see Peyton King. And on that moment of that Leander reaction, that is exactly where we will time our gameplay out this evening. And we will go into a cooldown phase, folks, and roll the stars and wishes, and then we'll pick up for part 3, which will be our conclusion. But as I say, I'm running it at a hopefully a movie pace as we've compacted into a 3-part game. So everyone okay with that? We will pick up with that next time with the villain reveal, or at least one face in them. So let us go through some stars and wishes. We will do stars first, and then we'll go back around with wishes. I am going to go through. I'm going to go through reverse character keeper order this evening. I'm going to ask Jim to open up with any stars.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. I mean, just this is, I'm super happy that we're back after the stars to everybody, because like, I felt like we just settled right back into it very quickly. Like there was no like, maybe a little bit of like quick reminders, but like we were, boom, we were right there. And I felt like everybody was really into it today. And that was very cool. I got to give a star to Donna for just that like, you know, well, I can see nothing has fucking changed while I was gone. Like that kind of move, which is like such a Prodigal thing. And it was so perfect that it was like, oh, this is how you get your pack killed. Like I figured that would be it. Like that line about this is how people get killed around here. I'm gonna carry around with me. That was fantastic. So just that was, yeah.
Awesome, Bodhi.
So stars to just kind of how much happened in this. It was absolutely packed full, and I think that's everyone really. It's so kind of just stars to how packed it was. It's great.
Awesome, Donna.
Yeah, I came into the session expecting one thing and got completely another thing. So yeah, and just to kind of add to that, Dave, you were juggling a lot, cutting back and forth between people, and it's not easy at the best of times, but with all of the extra misses, yeah, super work today.
My GM superpower is cutting the camera, right? But what do you expect you're going to get today? I'm intrigued.
Oh, I thought maybe we might have a quiet scene with either Briar or Jessica, but that didn't happen. So, but no, it's good.
I felt, yeah, actually, Leandro, let's have your stars if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I think I would give stars to everyone for like echoing what Jim said about everyone just kind of just slotting back in. There's some fun and interesting choices people were making, including yeah, like I said, shout out to Maxime for just like, oh God, this fucking pack. And Jessica immediately standing up to Maxime after he had made his big power play. I mean, I was always wondering like, who was gonna step up to like, try and take over the pack anyway, and I was kind of glad it was the Prodigal who did it and succeeding at that. I did love some of the scene framing, like saying like, "Oh yeah, when Briar calls Jessica, she's marching into Rosa's office and slamming a bullet on her desk," which is brilliant. And yeah, and Xenophon immediately like talking shit at Teresa and being like, "Pfft," and then turning around being like, "Oh wait, you can become one of us," after treating her like shit at the start, and then being like, "No wait, no, let me take that back. You want to become a wolf instead?" And yeah, Dave, for doing so much to try to thread this together. I guess also shout out to the dice room, which was they knew what what kind of story to tell. It was very helpful.
Yeah, Grandmother Spider had control of the dice room tonight. That's for sure. Absolutely. And yeah, I loved the play, the structure, the role. I love the way that Leandro, you rolled, not you just you rolled into with glee into your fails. I thought that was delightful. Right, some players would not have. The fact you did was amazing. And the same with Xenophon going, I'm going through, aren't I? It's like going, yeah, Jim, yeah, you know you're going through. And Donna taking over the pack.
I think we all knew what was going to happen there. That was
It felt like I was like, is that too obvious? But yeah, that's going to be fun. And Brody, we're saying I've not played with you before. And it's beautiful, man. I just think the Jessica was so much the alpha's creature. I'm really looking to see what the relationship unfolds between you and Maxim, because you don't like each other. This is going to be fun in that respect. And I want to make sure I wanted to keep the pace up, to have stakes on the table tonight, but I want to make sure in our next and final session we've got some breathe time as well to hear the character voices. I think the threat is on the table now, but it's that middle act in a 3-act story. Look, let's go back on wishes for which will be, unfortunately, say our final session of this series. But Leandro, anything for you from a wish?
Yeah, I think as much as I'm a bit bummed it's gonna be a final session next week, like the fact that this is part of like a shared setting kind of means we can pick up these characters some other time, like end up in an urban shadows in Empire City. Yeah, I'm gonna take that werewolf playbook. So like even if we don't get everything, I mean, I would like to try and get like at least everyone has like a place where they can like where the characters have reached a place where we can put them away for a moment. Like, not to say that there's everything about the story has to be concluded, but like enough has been concluded to be like, all right, that's grand. And Dave, you don't have to apologize for missing a session. That's what open door and all that stuff is for. It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, but that's GM guilt, man. That GMs hate to cancel, and I don't do it unless I have to. But I do appreciate your support and kindness as players. Donna, any wishes from you?
I'm not sure any extra. Yeah, but I do want to see this new pack dynamic and how how long it stays vaguely stable. About 5 minutes, I'm predicting. But yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Buddy?
Yes, my wish is for Jessica's decision to immediately go against Maxim to have consequences. I want to kind of see where that goes, and I have an idea for what Jessica's been doing in the meantime. So it would be great if it works out with where we go, if I can pick that up next session.
Cool. Definitely. Jim?
A couple things, I guess. One is that I took the resources move from the Fixer playbook.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to use that, but some kind of way to work in at least a little bit of that I have like actually like contacts in the mortal world, in the world of business and the occult is what I chose as my two, because that's kind of basically like, that's basically the character I kind of set up when we were talking about it at the beginning. So the opportunity to use some of that would be kind of cool. And I want to see, the other thing I want to see is everybody else's cool cyber spider world forms, what those look like. So that's, that's just more an aesthetic thing. But that, like I said, that's kind of my little bit of White Wolf fun.
Yeah,
intruding into
I
this.
think
So
I think that's awesome, and I certainly intended you to use all of those things this evening until the dice room punched us in the nuts. And yeah, I want to. I say I really did want to keep the pace up tonight because I wanted to give us stakes. Otherwise, it could have just been too socially, and I don't think that was the premise we came to the game with. But I do want to make sure that there will obviously be something climatic happening. I want to give character scenes and the ability for the pack to find itself in the social scenes, because that for me is the joy of this as a game, as well as the pressure and the forces against you. Keep an eye on that pack pool, folks, because you're only a few pack points off the overwhelm them move, which is like your superpower move, almost equivalent to a moment of truth, right? It's been a pleasure as always, folks, to game with you. I look forward to seeing you next week. If everyone okay that I post this session up?
please go right ahead.
Awesome. Okay then, gang, I will see you next week. Thanks very much.
Yeah.